am kinda a bit new to power scaling or debates, so feel free to correct me or debunk any of my points in this video, speaking
I think anyone with a single brain cell knows exactly what I'm gonna do next.
of which. Let's begin. If you looked at the title, you know we are pinning Four from Battle for Dream Island, otherwise known as BFDI, against Baldi from the famous indie game, Baldi's Basics.
And I'm gonna justify why Baldi slaps up the entire verse negative difficulty.
For this video, I will look at these two. AP, speed, IQ or battle IQ, durability, powers. Well, since that's out of the way, let's look at the combatants.
Welcome to Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning.
Baldi is the main antagonist of the Baldi's Basics series and the Baltimore comic series. He seems friendly towards the player when you first meet him, but after getting a question wrong in one of the 7 notebooks found in his school, let's just say he gets extremely aggressive and kind of sadistic. Baldi has an arsenal of weapons by his side like his ruler, portal creation via a portal poster, or weather manipulation via a fog machine. At worst, Baldi has 3A or universal AP and durability. This is due to him crashing and shutting off the game on multiple occasions. He even survived the corruption of his universe multiple times as well.
There's also the fact that it contains a developer's room, which is implied to view the entire Baldi's Basics versus fiction, as shown when you defeat Null. People will try to debunk this via it being stated this isn't some meta moment where the developer was part of the lore the whole time. However, people using this very blatantly ignore the context. The context of the clip being that it's supposed to be outside the main Baldi's Basics events and lore, which it literally adds on after that Baldi's Basics itself has lore. This is an entire narrative statement for literally all of Baldi's Basics, as the game is literally what the scam refers to. So we can logically conclude that the room contains lore and events but are outside the main Baldi's Basics liner events and are actually a part of the secret endings. We can further back up that is part of its history and are actually vital events, as this is literally the same room, the same plane, the same room, same everything, where Null dies and everything returns to normal, pretty much uncorrupting all of Baldi's Basics. Like, Baldi, instead of killing you, now wants to play hide and seek and show you his invention. So please do not use this trash-ass argument to debunk the scam, because I already refuted it like a billion times. Baldi corrupting his entire game that contains the entirety of this views the entire versus fiction would place Baldi at 1C or complex multiversal. This would also give him immeasurable speed, as being a higher dimensional character would place you at 4th dimension, place you above 4th dimensional space-time, which is required for immeasurable speed. So Baldi scales to 1C or complex multiversal with around immeasurable speed at bare minimum. This can get even higher, but we need more scans. So I'm gonna just say 1C Baldi.
He also has superhuman, subsonic speed, at worst via scaling to Gotta Sweep, who was able to sweep the entire school in 30 seconds. For IQ, Baldi is an extraordinary genius, being able to create said things I mentioned in his abilities, and also created a shrink machine, which was stated to be his greatest invention yet. In summary, Baldi scales to universal with at worst subsonic speed.
Don't you want to battle to win a prize?
Four is an algebraian and the host of BFDI's 3rd season, BFB or Battle for a BFDI. He was also a temporary host in BFDI, The Power of Two. Four is seen as a powerful and dominant character who hurts people for his own amusement. When provoked or angry, Four would, of course, hurt said people who made him angry and even go to the point of hurting his close friends such as X. However, after the split and where Two, another algebraian, took 40 of Four's contestants, Four is a bit nicer than he was in the pre-split, but still keeping his chaotic personality at points. Moving on. Four has powers that can go from screeching to creation, but here is a list of his abilities. He should have universal to low multiversal AP and durability, for being superior to one who could restore the BFDI timeline, which had 2 universes. One being, of course, the main universe, and one in the underworld found in Earth's core.
You were presupposing the fact that one apparently restored the entire timeline. However, nothing in that entire clip mentions, shows, or even implies the fact that the timeline was even restored. Also, your note doesn't actually mean that forward scale above them, so we'll just dismiss it via Hitchens Razor and a non sequitur. Also, you didn't prove Four actually scale into these abilities in any way whatsoever, and yes, it would be a hacks. It's at best creation hacks, and at worst, basically absolutely nothing. So, yeah.
Four also should have massively FTL speed feats via being stronger than Donut, who could move in conjunction to a gamma ray burst, which had started about 2,763 light years away from them. Four has gifted IQ, seeing how he could hack Lollipop's tablet and understand Roboti and Dora. In summary, Four at worst scales, low multiversal with massively FTL speed.
You just stated that the low multiversal scaling is a highball, so why bother using it anyway?
For my final verdict, this matchup wasn't really as close as I expected. Yes, Baldi may have an IQ advantage over Four, but that's it. Four outmatched in AP durability, speed and raw power. Baldi may have crashed his game, but Four scales to 1 to manage to restore 2 universes. Even if you made them both universal, Four would somewhat still have an advantage with superior.
I don't know what you're smoking saying Baldi has subsonic speed at best when you literally said it previously that it was a low ball. So, is it a high ball or a low ball or at best? because you're literally saying that it's a high ball, but it's a low ball.
abilities. The winner is 4.
4 gets negged by the principal. Anyways, go subscribe to him and me. See ya.